Less than a year ago, I was deep into a meditation and I started interacting with a pink galaxy. She told me her name was Arakaria and her energy was absolutely amazing. And then I was like curious to see how our own galaxy compare to Arakaria. And this is essentially the basis of this video. Where are we at on a conscious level in our galaxy? What kind of trajectory is our galaxy on, and how does it affect us, these energies, on a planetary level? My name is Izzy and welcome to the download. So I was deep into a meditation just about a year ago, and I was starting interacting with a pink galaxy who told me her name was Arakaria. Now you may wonder what it's like to interact with a galaxy, and I will later probably make a video as to like telepathy 101 because it falls under telepathy, and it just varies from individual to individual as to how telepathy can manifest in somebody. But for me, it was essentially seeing with my third eye this galaxy and choosing to dial more in until I was immersed into this environment. So even though I was sitting in my living room, I was very much in Arakaria, and from there I could feel and sense things. And the more I was tapping and diving deep into these feelings and sensations, the more the images were coming into my third eye, and the more I could actually ask questions about this environment. So my first impression of Arakaria was it was a galaxy that was incredibly rich. And what I mean by rich, it was like my soul felt like it was being nourished by just floating in this environment. So of course, my first reaction, I was like, wow, I wonder if the Milky Way feels like that too. And as I tapped in the energy of the Milky Way, it felt flat. Not that we were at war or anything like that, but just flat. It wasn't just as rich as Arakaria. So I decided to go back to Arakaria and see, okay, why the difference? What are we looking at here? And essentially, what I was shown in Arakaria, I was seeing this world where it almost looked like a synthwave type of art. The sky was bright pink, and I was in this very vibrant jungle, and I could feel there were beings hiding behind the trees. They were feeling my energy. They knew there was something there observing them, but they were not really making contact with me. So what I gathered from permeating myself in that environment was this whole galaxy was actually symbiotic, meaning that every beings and culture were completely in tune with their environment. Nothing that they were engaging with was destructive or out of balance. Everything was in balance, everything was in harmony, and this is why it felt so rich energetically. So of course, I went back and dialed into the Milky Way and say, well, what about us? I do have memories from past meditation where I saw a lot of war in our galaxy, wars upon wars and different highly technical races. And I'm not gonna start like saying, maybe could I share? Okay, so what I was seeing during these wars is I remember being on this planet. I don't know exactly what it was called, where it was, just I know that it was very much in the Milky Way. It was in our galaxy, and I'm watching those spaceships landing. And these spaceships, the people come out and they're all in military uniform. And I'm looking for a sign of post-traumatic stress disorder, but no, these army people were all joking, laughing. There was no sense of actually being in combat, no signs of being in combat on their uniforms, but they're carrying these big coolers. And these coolers, from what I fell into it, contain genetic material. So there was this kind of warfare going on where other beings were not only at war with each other, but they were invading other planets to gather genetic material. And that's all I know. I don't want to speculate more as to where this genetic material come from. I don't know. I don't want to fall into conspiracy theory here at all. I'm just sharing what I saw and what I have experienced. So going back to my interaction with Arcadia and now tapping into our galaxy and feeling that the energy is completely flat, essentially what I've sensed is we have now reached peace. There is a peace treaty that has been organized in our whole galaxy, and even collective, if you say, and federations have formed. There's still animosity between certain races. There's still a little bit of bickering, like it's still raw. We are at peace, but there's still emotions bubbling up between the races, is what I've sensed. So what does that say about us? Well, the interesting thing is we are a planet that has a lot of war going on currently, that resides inside of a galaxy that has now reached a sense of peace. So therefore, our planet is no longer in resonance with our galaxy, because our galaxy are like, no, we're at peace right now. So what is our trajectory? Well, there is two choices. We can either fully embrace this peace that wants to reach to us and allow ourselves to invest in peace so we come back into alignment in our own galaxy, or I don't know what other choice we have, really. So this is essentially the state of our galaxy, the state of our Milky Way. We are a young galaxy that have just finally reached a state of peace. And I feel Arcadia came in to show me and us, because now you're watching this video and you're just getting the same information, therefore, just to show us that really it's not just to achieve peace. We can build on that and achieve harmony, and to inspire us to start developing a symbiotic relationship with each other, with our home, and the other beings in our galaxy. So I hope you find this informative. Thank you very much for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.